Hello and welcome to the Light Language Channel. I know it looks like the Light Language Channel after dark, but it's actually the Light Language Channel early morning edition. Same great Charlie, just wet hair. Um, I so this particular video is being recorded on October 22nd, and I'm gonna be publishing it on November 5th. Um, because if you're just tuning in now, and you have no idea who I am, and this just kind of came to you, curious to me, and I hope to you, because my entire time here on YouTube, up until at least November 7th, has all been part of an experiment that I've been running with myself, an experiment in manifestation, an experiment in creative output, in trauma healing, in life shakeup stuff. Um, what does that mean? There's a lot of things, but I'm specifically recording this as a follow-up to a video that was weeks ago. I truly don't remember when it is, and it might have honestly been one of the ones that I deleted, so it could just be a nothing video. I've gone through phases of recording content, recording a number of videos, because the overarching goal of what I've been doing has been to create a daily video vlog, mainly of my stories, my lived experiences, everything that's has just been needing to come out, because post any kind of growth phase, any kind of big spiritually transformative experience, there's almost this like wave of disclosure feeling, like I gotta get it out, I gotta get it out, I gotta get it out. And I've been trying to do that as artistically as I can so that I don't overwhelm the people in my life. Um, that didn't end up working. I did overwhelm every single person basically out of my life who isn't my husband and his family. And I mean that. Like, that actually is truly where I, in mid-October, sit. I am a person who is attempting to make this pivot of my life into business and into a number of other things. Just like other videos, this is raw, unedited footage. And I'm going to invite you to stick with me because I do have like legitimate information to share and like a transmission and like all kinds of fun channely things, right? But I did let my dogs outside. They have now decided it's time to start barking. So I'm going to go get them inside, and I'm going to invite you to go take a break for just a second. Go get yourself some water. Do you have water? Have you taken a bathroom break, or just a meditation like golden pause break? Why don't you do that without somebody guiding your meditation? However long this takes me. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes. Like, close your eyes, get centered, or get some water. Either way, I'm going to go get my dogs in so that they're not barking at the entire neighborhood. Okay. Be right back. Be right back. Coming back, and I'm gonna leave a chair right here in case Mabel wants to join. She tends to. She won't. Um, I almost feel like what I'm creating is sort of like a goodbye to YouTube video. But it's not. Um, it's really just an explanation, a follow-up to a prediction that I made with like 24 hours notice, basically. Um, and I kind of just want to follow up about that to once again talk about my failures and predictions as a psychic, right? I do have a number of things I've been writing on a regular basis that are sort of predictions. Mm. Will they ever actually be a thing? Not all of these are. Some of them are just things that I just felt like I needed to write down in the moment for some reason. Um, just just because I'm a writer, but that's particular allowing myself to be artistically open as a writer at all times is something that's new for me. So I'm still in the process of figuring out how do I organize thoughts? How do I put them into things that isn't just channeling? Like, how do I do that as a human? I kind of know how to do it as a channeled entity. I've been literally channeling out. Um, this is a journal. I'm channel writing from a character's perspective, so that I have that character's like day and life that I'm then using to write out my choose your own adventure story for it. Um, and that's kind of what this video is. It is my personal goodbye to making YouTube content at all or the foreseeable future because this was a speed run. Um, the video that comes out tomorrow is something that I filmed yesterday. And the video that comes out Friday, November 7th, is something I filmed on September 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. I don't remember which one. I'm not watching it again. So, um, because I filmed a bunch September 7th through the 10th, and then I released them on a weekly basis. And then I just kept making more and more videos to fill in every single gap in between, not consciously realizing that I was creating my YouTube container, my YouTube career. Go try it, see if you like it, and what you learn from it, and what you create from it. And what I created from it is the video that came out yesterday. I'm not saying that that was like the pinnacle of things that I've created, but I'm proud of it. It's my video, it's my jam with me with like fan tribute to Amber Ruffin. Filmed that at the end of September while I was sitting next to Mabel while she was convalescing from surgery. Yes, you. I was just talking about you. Yeah. Don't remember or you don't know, this girl did get uh, spayed as a little pup, but apparently they left the ovary in her, so she had to get spayed again. Which is only something that I've been able to afford. Oh, you're fine, right? You're good. You're good and you're healthy and you're okay now. It was a 2 week period of her having to be crated, and I felt really, really bad about that. So I just stayed here and I made a lot of videos. I made a lot of content. Um, and I didn't watch it all to like decide when it would go out. And then that was actually the very last thing that I had um, on a backlog that I then watched yesterday and put up. But um, so I'm very proud of it. It's damn, it's improv, it's channeled, but we call a lot of things a lot of different things. So it's basically just improvised, long form Broadway thoughts about what I think could actually help humanity right now. Because I really do. Like humans are the most influential thing in the world. I know that we think technology is, but no, humans are, and will remain so as we know. Um, and so, especially just because of the other things that I do know with confidence. I've spent time in the afterlife. I just know some things. I have some observations about things that a lot of people in my personal life like to tell me I'm crazy about knowing, but um, like what I know is it is entirely possible to just project and predict completely not going to happen things on a regular clip and on a regular basis. Um, and the reasons behind that are trajectory based, they are resonance based, they are attention in the direction of based. Because especially if you are keeping so much of what you're focused on very small and very self-contained to your little unit and your little world, um, you can kind of become a bit of an echo chamber. And having bigger aspirations, bigger dreams, bigger predictive things to come in, it gives you that bigger thing to reach for. And I say all of that just because if you've watched my content, you know that I've made predictions about being on Last Week Tonight so many times. It keeps coming through. It came through 2 days ago again. Um, and so 2 days ago, my prediction was on October 20th at 9:19 a.m. I just had to write this down. Um, Current prediction that tomorrow, October 21st, is the day I get an email that changes my life in yay, exclamation point, dollar sign, heart ways. Um, and then I turned it over and asked myself further, like, okay, so then go deeper, tell me what that is. And that was that John Oliver would be emailing me to get on a Zoom call. I was like, okay, what time? 11:30 a.m. And then just yeah. Um, and even while writing it, going, okay, this is bullshit, but this is fun. Okay. Um, and then yeah, the entire morning of the next day, and I'm just gonna look because I do have an email. Oh, from Vistaprint. They love emailing me. Um, I had like just one little email, so I just need to check it real quick and be like, meh, meh. Um, I'm one of those. I always have like if I am working or I'm on the computer or whatever, I always just have my emails on tabs open and I like because again, trying to get clients, right? So I'm trying to be open and available to clients. Um, and what's really interesting is as this did not happen, right? Which I truly was like, yeah, it's not going to. I'm fully aware this isn't going to happen. But um, I was still in that sort of expect wonder, expect excitement, expect good, expect fun, expect life changing, expect like that was the expectation. That's where I was. And that day, this is yesterday, my husband was having a real shit day at work. Um, and came down in like a grumpy, huffy, like mood for lunch because we both work here. So it's it makes it kind of hard to blur those lines in um and it triggered me into a just like it just pulled out all of these really intense feelings that we've both been having based on trauma and based on just 20 years of two neurodivergent people not necessarily working on their shits worth of stuff and just we've had a very involved life together, so there's just a lot of stuff and not necessary and it was like it was one of those where kind of just everything came out at once and not directed at him because I was in that moment I was very intentional and very specific because I was so elevated and so it's not going to happen but like clearly something right something miraculous is going to happen right um just because the energy was what came through. Um, and so my miraculous was that I didn't say anything to him. I didn't. I wrote it and I wrote 8 pages worth of need to get it out before I finally was like, okay, you know what? I need to talk to him. Need to talk to him. So I pulled out my phone, I hit record, and I started talking to him and crying. I was crying while I started talking to him. Um, and I recorded a video just like I'm doing right here. I hadn't done that before, not to him, not to just him, and certainly not from a place of I'm now 8 written pages into how I'm feeling, right? Like, usually by that point in an hour-long conversation, you're both so fucking burnt out. Like, uh, if you're a person who is like a big over communicator, that meets with someone who, let's face it, basically has selective mutism, I anticipate that's what the current therapist is probably going to maybe diagnose. I'm not going to say anything to him, but I'm going to just see what it is he wants to talk about. But that's how he responds. And even in talking to him on the camera, that was sort of like my epiphany moment where I was like, oh my God, yeah, just it may be a permanent state of things that I am just too much for you at this point, but we also kind of have to disentangle a lot of the trauma that we both have before we are clear-headed enough to really know, is our relationship like something we both want to continue forward with, or are we better as friends, right? Either way, we're both still in the crux of trauma. Him specifically now. I'm in a much better place. And it's sort of a like, okay, man, I'm feeling steady and I'm feeling solid, and so here's what I can do for you. Um, and so that was sort of the epiphany that I came to. Um, and so I recorded that video and then I told him about it and was like, can you please watch it? Um, and he did. And uh, like the timing of the day, right? And then later in the afternoon, I was feeling inspired to do more work, to do more artistic work in the evening. And I kind of just wanted to talk to him like face to face about just it and some other stuff. And once I had done the first video where I was like, you know what, it kind of felt exactly like how when we're together, but I didn't have the central nervous system reacting in the moment to anything I'm saying because all I was doing was tuning into the fact that he was watching it. And it felt easier. It felt so much easier to just talk to him. So I did that on a Zoom call, just like, or a Zoom recording, just like I'm doing this one. Um, and I sent him the link to the recording, um, one that does delete in 30 days. Um, and it is the video that again is coming out tomorrow. That video, not the super emotional one of like, "Brr." That is just in my own private like, interesting. I wonder where this is gonna go more. Because once I did it and then I watched it back because I watch all my stuff back, I was like, oh man, this is a lot like the Hey Kathy that I'm trying to do. And I don't know if other people would find this entertaining, but I'm in my Truman Show phase right now. Like I understand where I am and what I'm doing. Maybe other people would like to see it too. Um, just maybe even to not feel so fucking alone in the fact that, yeah, I talking to somebody that's not reacting to me with any verbals, but I can still feel the central nervous system response, and it's very triggering. Um, so all that's to say that email, I didn't get an email, but who's to say that that didn't just help me to think in terms of email, like it's almost like uh, email business, financial security, do the blah 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 blah. The that voice that is on a constant loop when you're not financially secure and your business isn't really flourishing, the one that you can't shut up, right? Do really genuinely see it because I ask and because it's like, oh yeah, as my guides kind of fuck with me a little bit, provide me a little bit of a like thing to reach for in terms of impossibility, because what I get is something that is for my highest good. And it was for my highest good to do that. His reporting back to me later, which he did, he took notes on the first video, which I think I said it at the end, or maybe I don't remember anymore. This is what's good about doing a lot of content. You're just like, yeah, I just let it go. Hey, here's my tip. If you ever want to like do the YouTube thing, record as many videos as you feel compelled to record. Schedule them for whenever in the future feels appropriate to schedule them for, and then take a break. Like, yeah, make it this until you know what you want to talk about. I don't anticipate that my videos on YouTube are ending this week. That does not feel true to me. And by this week, I mean November. The week of November ends on the 7th. This is just the end of the experimentation phase for a light language channel for this because I am transitioning the next couple of weeks fully into writing. I'm not going to be doing screens. I'm not going to be doing recordings as far as I know right now today. Um, and just with everything else that I have going on. Um, but yeah, I did post the conversation that I had with him. I called it Hi Honey. Because I was thinking like new Patreon, hi honey, first video free, which is that video. What love note does Charlie Zoom meeting to Randy so that he has to FaceTime with her? Why not use your limited face to central nervous system time to exist like you live separately for a while in the pursuit of artistic healing to do several evenings a week? Zoom video Zoom recording links whenever was sort of my pitch, right? And I put that on a note on Substack and I called it, okay, I'm going to actually read the note that I put on Substack. Because I don't see Substack being a thing I stop because writing is my main everything. Writing is what I do. I write. I am a reader of Akashic Records, and I am a writer of any number of things. But this is what I wrote yesterday about this video that you're going to see tomorrow. Um, since I appear to be in my Truman Show era, I'd like to announce my new Here's How You Can Support Me that's not entangled with Substack's payment frustrations. Seriously, it's so much more personally meaningful and helpful for me to have Patreon supporters given what that platform provides for content creators trying to make a sustainable living. Sorry, not sorry, Substack. I have a whole thing on my Soul Harmony Connection Substack if you ever want to see it, but just I have reasons for not liking how Substack exists for content creators. Anyway, aka I already have 2 Patreons with 1 supporter I don't personally know. I love you, person, and I love you, person. I hope to one day game characterify. I still hope that the Miriam's Quest video game is going to be happening. As a present for my life, the answer is no. We're not actively seeking to create it. I still want to create it. I'm still going to probably do things in the next couple of years to go in that direction. We'll see where I actually land, right? But I have 2 Patreons. I have 1 supporter I don't know. And so yeah, why not add another Patreon, right? Hi, honey, is me having a life is wild conversation with my husband in the way that it kind of tends to go all over the place and very emotional and completely too much information. The Zoom link to watch the first one is at the bottom. I'm testing notes and what links do or don't seem to result in audience growth if you're into that kind of info. Um, My husband and I are both substantially neurodivergent, ADHD for him, DID, autism, ADHD for me. We're honestly really fun. And over the last 2 years have endured a Kundalini awakening, new altar formation, me, a near-death experience that triggered a full integration. I'm the only one who came back. And every person we've loved as close friends slamming the door on a relationship with us. Oh, and some ER decisions trauma I write and talk about a lot. Today, I had a heart-to-heart with him after taking some THC so that I could have a more clear channel for writing out some of the Miriam's Quest video game pivot that is now going to be a choose-your-own-adventure story. Add weekly on my Miriam's Quest Patreon. I'm not going to link it. So please look on my profile if you find you'd like to support me there. Add over. I'm not thrilled that THC is the easiest way to channel clearly right now, but we're just in one of those loud transition times on Earth. Our central nervous systems all have alarm bells ringing, and our perspective grabs hold of the most obvious to you problem, like your relationships, and Well, we're in the process of healing some of our bigger issues, and one way I'm doing it is through recorded Zoom meetings to my husband to watch later in his day, pretending we're on separate planets during our significantly different creativity jobs. He's working two jobs, I'm working three. Only one of those jobs provides any sustainable income right now. We've both been through a lot these last couple of years. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I did before I posted this. I have no clue who you are, but I know I'm entertainment for someone out there, and that's not just my husband. I know I'm entertainment for someone out there that's not just my husband. I could tell when I read an excerpt from Miriam's journal I'm channeling. I did. I read day zero in that at the end. You have to watch all of my video to get the fun stuff. So cool. I can't wait to share more of these possibly daily Zoom meeting links. And I think maybe I'm feeling lazy, so how about no new Patreon? How about just go to patreon.com/Miriam's Quest if you feel like supporting my writing or YouTube work. Sometimes I lie, always keep reading to the end of my posts. It's not really that it's a lie, it's more that I like think I'm going in one direction and then I pivot and then I'm like, I'm not editing this. Not because both truths were there by the time I got to the end of this post. Like, right? Like, it takes a while. This took me an hour or so to write. I'm not even done yet. There's still a little bit more, but this took me like an hour to write. Because, yeah, it does. Like, you start and you stop, you edit, you go back, like, you're like, meh, meh. Okay, meh, meh. And in the course of doing those, like, okay, do it, and go back, and then do it and go back kind of self edit as you sort of print right your whatever it is you're trying to get out. um I changed my mind and I kind of just like to show that process is involved in this and that multiple truths are involved in something that maybe took the reader 3 minutes to read, maybe not even that long. But maybe to a reader that's too much, too fast, too much transition. But I just like the fact that there are multiple ways of seeing the same thing, even in my writing. I'm a fan of it. That's why I leave it. Um, so, and I'll keep posting the updated Zoom links right here. So on Substack notes. How exclusive of me and you. It's like a Substack speakeasy up in here. Thanks so much for reading this far. Much love, Charlie. P.S. Almost forgot the link. So yeah, that's something that I've started doing today. Um, this first video will still exist as the Zoom links that are on here. Any videos that I make going forward, I'm also going to put them on Substack notes just because, and substack.com/@CharlieMorrow. That's my Substack. I guess I'll put it in this particular description. Um, but what I also wanted to just sort of point out is even when you do something like that, which like I did this just like series of things. And so I set up my evening to be okay, I will channel out some more of Miriam's Quest. That's actually why I took in the THC because I had had such a heavy day. I had had such a big emotion day, such a big, like, huge disappointment, right, in not getting the email of my dreams that I told myself I was getting, right? Right. But it's like I channeled it out and I channeled it out from guides. So that comes with a level of expectation. And when you have any sort of expectation at all, it primes you. Pure psychological priming. That's all it was. And it got me into an elevated central nervous system state where I could tell that he was in a rough mood and I didn't get reactive for like another 5 minutes or so. And when I did, I went to writing and I went to a journal. Um, so that like that also just shows me just how substantial of like how substantial the amount of stuff that the both of us are untangling and working on right now as a couple really is. We literally need space. We literally need it. Um, for our health and wellness in general and for our just continuity of our relationship. Like, it's not sustainable to continue in the same patterns of coming together if when we come together we're just like it's not going to work. um and that's not what I want, it's not what he wants, and of the two of us I am the one that is much more adept at the pivoting. um and I'm hoping that by the time this even comes out, he'll have been a few weeks into therapy, like, again, right? Like, yay. Let me tell you, you can be a person like, the most frustrating thing for me about him going to therapy is when he fucking comes up to me and is like, my therapist told me this thing that I know you said like 2 years ago and have said every day since, but for some reason when this person said it, it just clicked. And I was like, motherfucker. Right? Mm-hmm. That's fun. So glad. So happy. But also, at least he's got it, right? And it does actually stick and it does actually work. I've seen it before. He's been to therapy before. I have data. I know how he works, and I know how he works when someone who's not me tells him stuff. Um, get your person, get your partner in therapy, okay? If they're not a person who's actively working on their own personal self growth, because they're just not that person. Like, he's not that person. He is not a person who does his own self growth. Like, he doesn't find joy in that. I do. A lot of people do. It's not who he is. Um, okay. I wrote myself notes and I'm like, what do I actually want to do? I then did write this because I just kind of came upstairs later that evening, early actually, so that we could watch Sabrina. Because, fun fact, I never watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch as a 90s kid. He did. He was a big fan. And when I heard that, I went, I'm sorry, why have I never heard that you were a fan of Sabrina the Teenage Witch? He was like, oh, I watched all the TGI like Friday stuff. I was like, that's cool, but like, why am I only just now hearing now, after after 20 fucking years? Why am I only just now hearing that you were a big fan of Sabrina? So yeah, so I'm watching it for the first time. He's rewatching it, and we're doing it as little dates, but after we have some separate time to do our own fucking things for a while. And I thought that it was going to be for making the game, but what I actually needed was just girl time. And so I got high, and then like there was a YouTube video that I'd started before we'd had dinner, and I came back and was like, okay, I'm gonna work. And I was like, okay, I'll finish this video. And then another one caught my attention, and then another one. And by about 7 o'clock, I was like, okay, I'll watch this last one. And clearly, this is all I'm doing tonight. But I felt really bad. So I wrote him out like a whole, like, would you like me to share it? Full disclosure mode. Okay. Like I said, Truman Show. This is the end. This is the end of the experiment in YouTube content creation for the purposes of, do I like this? Am I going to keep doing this? And is anything that I've predicted manifest? I still have a few weeks before some of the like bigger things. I got a final prediction. I got a final prediction about the last week tonight. Yep, yep. I'm just gonna put it right here so you can see it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it seems very convenient, right? For, well, you can't know, but if it seems very convenient for the purposes of my experimentation, um, and clearly I've given myself some level of hope for an audience on a grand scale, preferably being introduced by the kind of person who's uh, just multidimensional in how he presents information and very researched in how he presents information. And someone like me, it's sort of like I am hoping for like a viral moment to help with my financial situation, and the fact that I would love to be a career writer and I'd love to have people who like what I write, or just create in general. Like, I've also, like, in creating the video game, I created an Oracle deck that you can print and cut out yourself. That means that you're actually kind of infusing yourself into the deck, which theoretically makes it that much more attuned to you, especially if you decorate the backs yourself. because then you're part of the oracle deck that you're then pulling from. Um, and we're still making the updated version to that, and hopefully the video game for that. It's just probably not going to come out this year. Um, but I keep having these channeled certainties, right? That okay. Like, cool, that's fine. I'm gonna keep you a little card that was wrong. Um, Important to keep your information even when it's completely fucked up and wrong. But um, this is what I wrote to him last night. So this is just part of the like, yeah, we both are having complicated feelings about ourselves and about each other, and it's hard to be that mirror. It's hard to mirror. It's hard to be a mirror for each other when this is how you feel about yourself. I feel ashamed to admit that I did not actually do more writing for Miriam's Quest this evening. Instead, I was watching YouTube videos from female channelers because they were uplifting and felt personal. Given the heaviness today, it makes sense that I can't do art, and maybe tonight is my last night getting high to work on the story, which is good news because I'd rather just channel write it without the need for THC. I will likely be spending plenty of post dinner evenings either working or doing this because it's as close as I have to an evening out with friends. I hope that's not too sad to read. And I handed that to him, and he read it and, and didn't respond to it at all. I had to ask him for it to be like, so how do you feel? And yeah, he was kind about it in general. My big issue is just that the man does not talk. He just doesn't talk. He doesn't respond. He doesn't. He's very like. I'm sure that's some people's dream. It's my fucking nightmare. I hate it so much, and it's not how he used to be. Actually, like that's part of the problem. It's not. It's not typical for him. It's trauma him. It's he's overwhelmed. Things are too much. You know that's the problem. Um, the other stuff, we are both so fucking neurodivergent. We make accommodations for each other all the time. Like we are both. That's what's so fucking frustrating about being a neurodivergent couple, where you have fucking made it work for decades, and then to go through so much of a hard thing and have everyone that you fucking built as your foundation just say, "Nah, too hard." Like then it's just the two of you, and you're like, okay, we picked the wrong people to try to be friends with and uplift all of this time. I would have spent all of my time on literally anybody else. I would have spent years cultivating other relationships with people who would be able to stand by us when everything just kind of went to shit temporarily. Um, so sorry to be a person who goes through things sometimes. Oh, this is my big hope is that by November 5th, when this comes out, I will no longer feel the absolute isolation of old friends doing this, right? Like, I will just hopeful trajectories lead to hopeful things that also then still pull out a lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here to make sure I've got it all. Um, yeah, no, I already talked about that. I'm not, okay. Yeah, okay, so to sum up, this entire my entire time here on YouTube so far has been an art show during my Truman Show era, um, where I finished YouTube videos, allegedly, so that I could just go back to Substack, um, where I will be continuing to post Zoom recordings of my Hi Honey series. Tomorrow is the first one I ever recorded. Yeah, I already said that. The next ones are going to be more high energy. It's Substack speakeasy style. I was so I like even last night I was like the speakeasy thing I'm kind of proud of because no more of these videos are like not this, but like no well whatever. No more of the Zoom videos where I say hi honey and here's information are going to be put onto YouTube. I'm just gonna record them on Zoom, send an email to him with the link, and post it as a note on Substack. And so it truly is. It's a video confessional style content speakeasy. Um, because I mean, we kind of do live in a time where a person's um, a person's neurodivergence and relationship stuff and I don't know, it's a lot of personal disclosure stuff. And I don't need to do it. I don't need to let you all in on my life, right? I don't need to let anybody in on my life, but I'm choosing to because I'm very curious to see where this experiment in parasocial relationships continues to take me, because so far where it's taken me is into confidence in my channeling skills and abilities. So far, the only time that I just hit myself in the face. The only time that I have actually done any channel writing in this journal has been without the assistance of any sort of THC. So I think it's funny that last night I was so just upset, but also determined to write, because on this weekend, basically, there was just this like, okay, time to pivot into this, and had a conversation with Randy about it. Like, can I focus on at least just getting the story out for the rest of the year? Because I have I have been seriously applying for jobs since last year. It's not been a pleasant or easy time, and I'm personally just kind of needing a break from the rejection. And we are it's that financial place where we have what we need. We don't really have more, but we have what we need. And for months, uh, since I started applying for jobs last year, for months, it was just like, we can't, okay, like anxiety, right? Like, okay, we can afford like this month, but what about next month? And specifically, what about 3 months from now? Because I've always lived in financial, what about 3 months from now territory. I've never lived in, we are safe and secure, even though we are safe and secure, even though I've never lived in that. And so we're going to just kind of live in delusion land a little bit for the rest of this month, next month, and December, while I focus on Miriam's quest, on getting this story out, on getting on getting this Choose Your Own Adventure book together and in weekly installments on Patreon. Day Zero for me comes out this week. I've started it. Um, I will likely rush it, but I always get things done ahead of time, so that's exciting. And if I don't, then I would just tell people. I would tell my one person who doesn't know me, "Hi, I'm sorry. Here's why this isn't the thing, but also here's some art that Randy made. Yay!" Um, Probably, yeah, because I can I can hope that I will get things out on a weekly basis, but I'm giving myself personal accommodations for my own business and my own creativity and my own writing stuff, that this is just how I'm proceeding forward. So, what that means for YouTube, I have no fucking clue. And more importantly, I don't really care. And I love that. I love that I don't really care. Um, and I appreciate you for watching this video. I appreciate you for watching any of my other videos. I'm proud of quite a few of them. I'm not proud of a lot of them. They're just like whatever. Um, but I'm very pleased to see how just allowing myself to do the things that spiritual folks always say to do, and my own guides always say to do, but to do the thing where you're just like, just trust it. Trust the feeling, do the thing. Trust the feeling, do the thing. Um, and my brand of it is question the thing. Document the thing for your own purposes so that you can push against it and be like, all right, well, when I get this specific thing that tells me this exact thing is definitely happening tomorrow, I mean, at some point, maybe, but I can still live in the what if, and I can live in the what if without it crushing me when it doesn't, which is actually kind of also the point, because guides just need you to get elevated. And when you have a lot of complicated things going on and you have a lot of trauma that you're healing, it's very difficult to stay elevated. It's very difficult to stay up. And so if there really are some fantasy things that are helping you stay elevated, those are helpful, but you can't get lost in them because you can get spun out mentally and um, you can end up going down a different spiral of self-hatred and I'm a bad channeler and nothing I do is ever right and nobody hires me anyway. And like I look at my business and I could, oh my God, I could so easily go into that spiral because yeah, one paying client still. I'm almost like celebrating that at this point. I don't know because it's gone on for so long at this point that I'm like, am I actually going to do Akashic record readings for pay professionally, or is there something else that all of that was preparing me for? And if I'd spent the whole year just continuing to focus solely on the business and not look at any of the other things that I could have been doing with my time. The only reason I wrote as much as I wrote and I've done as many videos as I've done is because I've been filling my time while waiting for paying clients and doing marketing when I can, but like just doing things for the business when I can, but really just kind of playing around in the meantime with what I can do and see what I can do and experiment with what I can do for the betterment of my services to clients. Because if there is some sort of future prediction thing that I'm telling a client, I need to be able to know, did that come from fantasy land or did that come from this is truly happening? Because a lot of things that come through are not so much always for the it's literal. A lot of things that come through are for the story and the story that you'll tell yourself and the story that you will stay in long enough to get other personal things that have nothing to do with that taken care of. It's like for me, my personal life, my marriage, my like we're trying to heal our relationship. We neither of us wants a divorce. Neither of us wants to just be friends. We don't think. Um, and also we are just actively supporting each other through this current transition time. And so we're kind of like figuring it out. Um, it started raining. I've got a skylight. It's part of why I'm the lighting is never particularly great here. It's great for me, bad for bad for videos. It's just too much. Um, just like me in so many things. Um, so say the people that don't return my text messages, right? Um, that's it for me. Um, I hope you enjoy the next two videos. They're from my past, both of our past, but my past. Um, and there will be something occurring on November 8th. Maybe it's just me doing a different type of video here on YouTube. Maybe it's something else entirely. That remains to be seen for me, and I guess for you too, depending on when you're watching this. Um, but yeah, I'm literally just gonna go now. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. All of and any of uh, just the videos of the videos of the whatever. And I'm gonna put all the links to everything in this description without any any other context. So click away. Have fun finding whatever you want to find about me. And um, yeah, really do. There's so much love for you. Thank you so much for being here and participating in this experiment. And I hope it's good. And if you're at all confused or like things start to happen for you, I made a handbook, the Consciousness Explorer's Handbook. If you head to my website, you can download a PDF of it or find the link to Amazon to buy a hardcover book copy. My help. It's just my help. Bye now. Bye bye. Bye now.